You are now entering a recorded field transmission from the Department of Lost Places. This is archive entry 011. The subject of this record is known as the Lighthouse at the Edge of Winter. Among the many locations presently maintained within department archives, few have been observed with such consistency. Its position remains uncertain. Its coastline appears on no chart. Its waters belong to no recognized sea. Yet descriptions gathered over more than a century remain remarkably similar. As though every observer has visited the same shore, the same tower, the same long winter evening. The lighthouse is said to stand where winter ends, or perhaps where it begins. Department researchers remain divided on the matter. The location appears resistant to precise classification. Like many threshold sites, it seems less concerned with geography than transition. Most recorded encounters occur during periods of deep winter. Not during storms, not amid dramatic conditions, but on those rare days when the season feels almost endless. When snow has covered the landscape for so long that it becomes difficult to remember other colours. When the horizon appears suspended between silence and sleep. When the year itself seems to pause. It is during such times that travellers occasionally discover the coast. Accounts vary regarding the journey. Some arrive by narrow paths through snow-covered forests. Others emerge from long stretches of empty shoreline. A few report following distant light across frozen fields. Regardless of route, all describe the same first impression. The sea. Not rough, not violent, still. An immense expanse of dark water stretching towards an indistinct horizon. The surface reflects the pale winter sky with such accuracy that sea and cloud become difficult to separate. The boundary between them appears to dissolve. Upon a rocky headland overlooking this silent ocean stands the lighthouse. It is taller than most expect, built of pale stone weathered by centuries of wind and salt. Its lantern room shines with a warm amber glow, not bright, not commanding, simply present, a steady light within a landscape of blue, grey and white. Surveyors frequently remark upon the emotional effect of seeing the tower for the first time. Not relief, not excitement, recognition. As though they have always known it would be there. The path leading to the lighthouse winds upward along the cliffs. Snow gathers between stones. Frost decorates iron railings. The air grows colder with each step. Yet visitors consistently report feeling unusually calm. The climb requires little effort. The silence feels welcoming rather than empty. Halfway to the summit stands a wooden sign, simple, unadorned. The inscription has remained unchanged across every documented encounter. The light remains. No further explanation is provided. None appears necessary. The lighthouse door seems always to be unlocked. Visitors may enter freely. The department has never recorded an instance in which access was denied. Inside, the atmosphere differs noticeably from the coast beyond. The air is warm, not heated, simply warm. The stone walls seem to retain the memory of countless winters. The interior carries the faint scent of old books, lantern oil, and sea salt. A spiral staircase ascends through the tower. Small windows overlook the ocean at regular intervals. Each reveals a slightly different sea. One window may show calm waters beneath falling snow. Another reveals distant icebergs drifting through mist. Another opens onto a horizon illuminated by pale winter stars. No explanation for this phenomenon currently exists. The department believes the windows may not display different locations. They may display different winters. The distinction remains under investigation. Near the centre of the tower lies a circular room known amongst surveyors as the Keeper's Library. Despite the name, no keeper has ever been conclusively identified. Yet evidence of ongoing habitation appears throughout the room. A fire burns gently within a cast iron stove. Tea remains warm. Books rest open upon tables. Notes written in careful handwriting occupy scattered desks. The library itself contains an unusual collection. Not books about winter, books for winter. Travel journals, poetry, star charts, field notes, stories of distant voyages, accounts of long journeys completed and unfinished. The shelves appear devoted to companionship rather than information. Visitors often find themselves reading for extended periods. Hours may pass unnoticed. Some report discovering passages that seem uniquely relevant to their own lives, yet upon returning later, the same passages cannot be found. The books remain, the words change. One recurring volume appears in nearly every account. Bound in dark blue cloth and bearing no title, it contains only observations, thousands of them, collected over what may be centuries. The sea is quieter today. The first snow arrived before dawn. A traveller passed the lighthouse at sunset. The stars were particularly clear this evening. Winter remains patient. No author is listed. No beginning exists. No ending has been located. The book simply continues. Beyond the library, the staircase ascends towards the lantern room. This chamber forms the heart of the lighthouse, and perhaps the heart of the location itself. The lantern burns continuously. No fuel source has ever been identified. No mechanism has been observed. Its light appears constant under all conditions. Visitors frequently expect the room to contain some great mystery, an explanation, a revelation. Instead, they find only simplicity. Glass, light, sea, sky. And yet many remain there for considerable periods. Watching the beam sweep slowly across the winter ocean, watching darkness and illumination take turns across the water, watching distance itself become visible. Several surveyors have attempted to determine what exactly the lighthouse guides. No ships have ever been observed. No vessels appear on the horizon. No maritime traffic has been recorded. The prevailing department theory is therefore unconventional. The lighthouse may not guide travellers across the sea. It may guide them through winter itself. Not the season, the experience. periods of uncertainty, periods of waiting, periods when progress becomes difficult to measure, periods when the landscape of life appears dormant. In this interpretation, the lighthouse serves as a reminder not that winter will end, but that winter is survivable. One of the most unusual features of the location appears only after extended observation. Beyond the lantern room, a narrow door leads onto an exterior balcony encircling the tower. Most visitors eventually step outside. The view is extraordinary. Sea in every direction, snow-covered cliffs, distant stars emerging above the horizon, the slow movement of the lighthouse beam across water. Yet another detail consistently attracts attention. Far beyond the coast, scattered lights occasionally appear in the darkness, tiny points of amber illumination, too distant to identify, too numerous to ignore. Some believe they are ships, others suggest settlements. A few surveyors have proposed a more intriguing possibility, that each light represents another lost place, another archive, another impossible location waiting somewhere beyond ordinary maps. The department has neither confirmed nor denied this theory. Departure from the lighthouse is gentle. Visitors descend the staircase, cross the threshold, follow the path away from the coast. At some point, they glance back. The lighthouse remains visible, the lantern continues turning, the light continues shining. Then, often within moments, snow or mist obscures the view. When visibility returns, the tower is gone. The coastline has vanished. Only the ordinary world remains. Yet many visitors report carrying something away with them, not an object, not a memory, a feeling. The certainty that somewhere beyond the reach of charts and seasons, a light remains burning, steady, patient, unhurried, waiting for those who may one day need to see it. The department classifies the lighthouse at the edge of winter as type, seasonal threshold site, navigational beacon habitat, resilience archive, access level recurring, most frequently encountered during prolonged periods of uncertainty or transition. Final note from the archivist: winter is often misunderstood. People imagine it as an ending, a pause, an absence. Yet the natural world understands something different. Roots continue growing beneath frozen ground. Stars remain present behind cloud. The sea continues its tides beneath ice. Life persists even when the evidence becomes difficult to see. Perhaps that is why the lighthouse exists, not to promise immediate spring, but to remind travellers that darkness and direction are not opposites. Sometimes the light is easiest to recognise because winter has fallen around it. This concludes archive entry 011. The record is sealed. The lantern remains lit. The sea remains calm. End transmission.